Hi, it's Leithia from Farmview Creators. Today we're going to work on this super cute mini door display shelf that is 17 inches tall from the Rust Covered Cottage by Christina. I'm going to start by mixing 2 glazes from Paint Couture, Van Dyke Brown, just a little bit of that, with a lot of Zinc. Zinc has a little bit of a sparkle and it just turned out so gorgeous. So I am just getting all my pieces kind of put on my sticky board and figuring out what I need to stain on both sides versus just one side. And I just love how this color turned out. It is so pretty. Kind of, just a darker wood stain with a little shimmer. Not too black, but also, leaning that way. Just a really nice deep color. So just giving everything a once over, some pieces 2 sides, some a lot not. And I'm just doing one layer, just one coat with my staining sponge. I let them dry overnight, and now I'm going to go ahead and glue together these little filigree corners, putting the fancy side up. And then I decided I would go ahead and basically assemble the panes and the top of the door because I'm going to use milk paint, and I wanted to make sure that it really adhered well because it is a standing piece. So that's the baseboard. You can see where the bottom slot fits in there to stand up. And then this is the little shelf that goes in the middle. Is going to sit on top of those little filigree corner pieces. And then it has all the details of these panes in the center. Love, love, love. Now, if you want to leave it stained, it is gorgeous like this, just like this. But I wanted some color. I also loved the stain. So I went in heavy-handed with my Sweet Pickins beeswax, warmed it up on my finger, then put a glob on my hand, and then just hit, especially areas where, doors naturally kind of wear down, and then around the edges and stuff, and kind of just, like I said, heavy-handed because I loved how the stain came out. So I really wanted to make sure that it had some places to shine as well. Gonna do 2 coats of vintage moss on the wreath that comes with this kit, and then while it is still pretty wet, I am going to use a fan brush to brush on some Misty Fjord just to give it some dimension. We'll also put some wax on that too. So for my color, I'm using Sweet Pickins milk paint in the shade Moody Blues, and it is absolutely gorgeous. Mixing it really well, 1 part to 1 part water. I like to use room temperature water. Mix it well, set it aside, and now I'm going to put my Extra Bond. I'm brushing Extra Bond onto all of the pieces, trying not to get anything that's going to be sticking into a groove. I'm going to try to not have a lot of milk paint on those pieces as well. And just going over unevenly and getting a coat on. And you're really going to see, because I don't put Extra Bond on the back side of the door, but I do use milk paint, so you'll see the difference with the crackle between using Extra Bond and not using it. So it's had time to dry. I'm just adding a little water because that got a little thick, and then mixing my Moody Blue, picking out what brush. That is going to be the door hanger that holds the wreath. And then just going in and giving a good coat, but not trying to be even with it or anything like that. Just getting it covered. And you can see where it was, the wax was resisting. And then as you dry, it does this amazing crackle effect. I am showing the entire dry time, just sped up, because you can see the crackle happening in this video, and it is amazing. I could watch it all day. In some places it crackles more than others. See right there on that second pane. Oh, gorgeousness. And you can see some lifting, and then I will move away from an area and then move back to it and heat it up again, and it'll crackle even more. I mean, you just kind of got to go back and forth until you're happy with how much crackle, and then just getting it nice and dry. So pretty. Now I'm going to get those back sides, and here's the back side of the door that has no Extra Bond on it. Had to add a little water and get some more paint there, but so those upper pieces, the shelf and the corner pieces, they do have extra bond, and this is without extra bond. So it is still crackling, but do you see how it's kind of random where it crackled? It only really crackles where the paint was thicker. I mean, it's beautiful too, and if you like that more randomness and less crackle, then that's the way to go. Again, I wanted some of that stain to shine through, so I'm using a plastic scraper. It comes with a whole set of the little orange blade pieces, and just going around and scraping off all the paint on top of that wax. And I love the distressed look. Some of the crackle, I was like, oh no, I don't want to scratch it off, but it's okay. It turned out great. Just kind of getting all those little pieces out, making sure I've got it wiped down. And now I'm going to go in with Sweet Pickins dark oil wax. I have a dedicated brush for this. I don't like put it up special or anything. I just sit it in my little jar. But I am really kind of putting a little pressure in and working it down into those cracks and the crackle so that it can enhance that. And then I let it sit for a couple of minutes, not too long this time. And I'm just wiping it back with a baby wipe. And keep wiping. Look how pretty. And you can see that bottom groove, and you want the flat part at the top because that's what the shelf is going to sit on. So then I'm going to put some glue on that shelf and press that in. I held it for just a little bit. I'm using art glitter glue. You know, I love it. It does well with this, but it does have a little setup time. So, you know, I would glue some pieces and I would walk away and come back and glue some more. Trying to decide where to put that little hanger. I decided it needed to go at the top of that middle pane, and then wanted to make sure I had it even. And then that bottom piece is going to sit in that, and I pressed it down until it went fully in that groove. And then I am going to, see how I put it together there? I'm going to sit some stuff on the back just to keep that at a 90-degree angle, and I let that dry for a couple hours. And I made another wreath just to have some more dimension. I love how it turned out. I cannot wait to put some cute little things on it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it inspires you to get your own door. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe.